Good morning, students. Today I am going to introduce you to your first chapter in civics. Now, civics is one section of your social studies which talks about the various political and social life. So, it talks about various aspects of a society. So, let's start with the first topic, variety and the depth of diversity. Now, can you see this picture around? Can you see different kinds of people wearing different kinds of clothes? I'm sure you must have seen different kind of people in our society in India. Right? So basically, what do you mean by diversity? Diversity, when you look around, you notice that nature offers different things, variety in our surroundings. You see several or different types of plants, flowers, trees, birds, animals, as well as human beings. We all look different. We all are different, right? So you see different colors or hear different sound. Seasons change. The world keeps making those changes around, and therefore world is an interesting place because of the variety it offers, the different things it offers, right? Therefore the presence of a wide range of qualities or features is called diversity. Diverse, different, variety. This is what it means, right? So different things or different people or different combination of things that makes India is diversity. There are different people belonging to different religion, caste, culture, regions. These all make India a very lively and a unique country in itself. Diversities are also found in the human society. Man depends upon others for the fulfillment of their various needs, right? So probably a farmer produces food, but does it produce only for itself? No, right? It produces it for all of us. At the same time, if I am a doctor, I provide my service not to just myself, but I would also provide it to the people around. So, we can say that we all are dependent on each other for staying alive, for staying together. So, people with different, occupations also gives us this, right? This variety or diversity. We all depend on people, different people, for clothes, for medicine, education, etc. We all belong to different social groups, but at the end of the day, we all are human beings, right? In a vast country like ours, there are different regions. Each region has its own culture, language, food habits, literature, etc. So let's see what regions are divided into, how a society is divided. It is divided on the basis of somebody who is tall, somebody who is short, or the kind of dress that we wear, the food habits that we have. So what kind of food do we have? Do we have chapati? Do we have rice? Do we have meat? Do we have vegetables? This all depends on the local region, the region in which that we stay. The language, there are different languages in our country that are spoken. So the language we speak defines our region. Socio-economic background, that means what occupation or what work do we do, what strata of the society that we belong to. The festivals, there are different festivals in our country. Holi, Diwali, Eid, there are different things that we celebrate together. There are different religions, Hindu, Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, Sikh. There are so many religions in our country. That is why it makes a country diverse, different from others. Now let's come to the factors that influence, or the factors that determine diversity. So what are those factors which makes us different? One factor is the geographical factor, and second is the historical factor. Now by geography we mean the area of a region, where that location of that region, where that place is located, right? So it can be mountains, near the mountains or near the plains, near the rivers, sea, forest. So any state or any region, where people are residing, besides any of these, the way they must be living, or the way they must be eating or dressing, what might depend on that geographical region, So for example, those people who live in the mountains might wear woolen clothes to keep themselves warm. They might eat, grains which keep them hot and warm throughout the season. If we are staying near the sea, those people who have been living near the sea might have a eating habit which might depend upon the area. So for example, if I am living near the sea, probably I must be eating seafood. That is something which is locally available. If I am living near the river or the forest, I might be getting lot of things which are available in a forest. So my culture, or the whatever region I'm coming from, that defines me, that shapes my whole being. What I eat, how I dress up, how I sit, how I talk, these all depend on the geographical location, right? Second is historical factor. Now historical factor means what history does your region has. These all influence the language, literature and art. Literature is a very well-known source of determining a culture of a place or a region, right? The kind of books that have been written, they might depict a certain culture, certain way of living, that how people lived in the past in that particular area, why people lived that way. It has, all of this has a historical connection, it has a history to it, right? So let's move on. Now let's, to understand diversity, let us take two states to understand the differences each state offers according to these factors. So the two states that we are studying today are going to be Jammu and Kashmir and Tamil Nadu. So let's see what Jammu and Kashmir talks about. So Jammu and Kashmir is known as the heaven on earth because it is supposed to be very beautiful, right? So the location where it's located is extreme north. It's in the northern side and it has very cold weather throughout the year. It has mountains all over and it is very beautiful. It's known for its scenic beauty. Can you see this picture? It is so beautiful, right? What is the capital of the state? So during winters and summers there are different capitals because according to the temperature. So Srinagar is the capital in summers and Jammu is the capital in winters. What are the languages which are spoken? So can you imagine a state has various languages. It does not just have one language but it has many languages which are spoken in the state. So it is Pahari, Gojri, Dogri, Ladakhi, Sheena, Kuwar, Kashmiri, etc. So there are many languages that are spoken in this state. Food. Now basically because it's a hilly area, we need food which keeps us warm, right? So people prefer, because there are also cattle which are available around, they kind of have lot of meat and milk for their survival. So one of the very famous drinks of Kashmir is the kahwa tea. That is very famous in that region, right? So there are various kinds of food which depends on that according to that location. Also, because this area is hilly, one of the main occupation of the people around is cattle rearing. What do you mean by cattle rearing? To, you know, to get the cattle and, keep them, rear them, so that they grow up, they can use it for meat, or they can use it for dairy products or different things, right? So that's cattle rearing. So that is one of the main occupation of people living up there. Okay, so these are different cuisines that are very famous of Kashmir. Because of the temperature, these foods are, they're able to digest that food easily, and they also keep them warm. Okay, so what are things that Kashmir is famous for? It is famous for kesar. This is kesar, saffron. That is used in many of your sweets, right? They put kesar. It also gets a yellow tinge to your sweets. So that's kesar. So this plant is grown, this flower is grown in Kashmir. So that is local to the place. That is why we would see that in Kashmir, many of the food have their local ingredient to it. Secondly, fairan. Have you heard about fairans? What are these? Fairans are, long woolen gowns. Can you see these? These are woolen gowns which keep them warm. Mostly these kind of kurtas or long gowns, people wear it to keep themselves warm, right? Then third is the pashmina shawls. These are very famous woolen shawls. These woolen pashmina woolen is found in Jammu and Kashmir. It is also famous for its shikaras. These are wooden boats that help you travel from one place to another, and the houseboats here. So it is famous for all these things. Now let's come to Tamil Nadu. Now Tamil Nadu, where does it fall? Do you all know? It is in the southernmost part of India. So southern eastern coast of Indian peninsula. It has fertile lands. What do you mean by fertile lands? The land which is easy to cultivate, for them to grow crops. It's very fertile. They can grow a lot of crops here. So how does it become fertile? Because of the rivers that are found here. There are so many rivers in Tamil Nadu, such as Kaveri, Palar, Vagai. These are all some of the major rivers. Can you read these? These are all the major rivers of Tamil Nadu, right? What is its capital? Chennai is the capital, and it is also one of the largest cities in India. Now let's come to the languages. So one of the major language that is spoken is Tamil, and others is Kannada and Telugu, and also Urdu. So these are some of the other languages which are spoken. The main language is Tamil. What kind of food is available? So Tamil Nadu is known for its traditional cultural cuisine, which is vegetarian. Traditionally, it was known for its vegetarian authentic meal, right? So it is known for its idli, sambar, vada, dosas, all these kinds. It's famous for such things. Because these grains are easily found in the region, these food can be made with that. Things it's famous for. So have you heard of this festival Pongal? Pongal is the new year which is celebrated in Tamil Nadu. So this is one of the most famous festival. It is also known for some of the manufacturing units of vehicle manufacturing, to manufacture vehicles, right? It is also known for its dance called Bharatanatyam, Kathakali, and also for many temples. Many beautiful temples are built in this state. Also, it is known for its Kanjivaram silk sarees. There's a silk which can be made, this is made here, right? Which is very famous, Kanjivaram silk sarees. Okay, now let's come to diversity in India a little more in detail. So we celebrate different festivals in different parts of the country. Baisakhi is celebrated in Punjab, Onam in Kerala, Bihu in Assam, Makar Sankranti in UP and Bihar, Dandiya Ras in Gujarat. It is also celebrated in other parts of the country, but specifically to Gujarat. Now it has different languages. So there are 179 living languages. That means there are so many languages which are spoken by people. 1600 dialects. What do you mean by dialects? These are local languages which are made up by the people to communicate with each other. There are Indian languages that have evolved over from different ethnic groups. What are these ethnic groups? So for example, there are Dravidians in kind of people in southern part of the country. So from them, from the languages which are spoken in the southern part of the country have originated, whereas in the northern parts of the country, it has originated from Sanskrit and Bharopi groups. Okay? People follow various religions in our country. Okay? So some may be Sikh, some may be Muslims, some may be Hindu, some may be Buddhist. So there are different, religions that are followed in a country. So there are regional diversity also. When regional diversity, it means pertaining to a particular region. Diversity in terms of food, attire is the kind of clothes they wear. In terms of societies, so patriarchal society or matriarchal society. Now patriarchal society are headed by males, like the families where there is who takes the decision? The eldest male member of the family takes the decision in a patriarchal society, right? But in a matriarchal society, all major decisions are taken by the women or the female who also heads the family. So usually in our society, in India, patriarchal society is followed. However, in Northeast and some parts of Kerala, matriarchal society is very famous. Despite of all these diversities, India is a very secular country where people from different backgrounds come together and also are interdependent on different states. So some states might do economically very well. They might have very good lands, fertile lands. They might produce the best of the crops, while some other states might not produce such good crops. So they interchange. They might be good. They might have some other good things, right? So they might exchange those things. They might exchange their cultures also. So in India, we all share different cultures. We all celebrate different festivals together, by paying attention to each and every festival which is around, right? So we all come together and celebrate things together. So we are unity and diversity. We all get united together. In this diversity also we get united together. Okay? Students, now I want you to do one thing. You will have to, as part of your homework, you will have to go on your exercises section, and as part of question A, B, C and D, you will have to answer these questions in the book itself. It is very easy to answer. Whatever I have taught, you will be able to do it with the help of that. And also, please go through the chapter to understand things better. Okay, thank you, students.